You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
Good morning. It is 6 o'clock, February 7th, I believe.
It is, yes, February 7th.
All right, I'm Ray Collins.
I'm Stephanie Webb. Welcome to Halfway Through the Week.
Welcome to John Skulls. He also a little fog out there right now, John.
There is indeed. And may I add, welcome to 7 days before Valentine's Day. Do not forget. Do not
Good
forget.
reminder.
Yes,
Good
just
reminder.
a little heads up.
Flowers are 3 times the price.
Yeah, that's right.
Night of watching Netflix by myself.
Oh, no. Oh, you watch. Your email box will be filled by the end of this show.
True.
We have a little bit of patchy fog beginning to build across the region. We'll see perhaps some dense fog in some locations possible, but it's not going to be widespread and it's not going to be a big deal. I think the bigger deal will come tomorrow morning with possibly some dense sea fog rolling in. We'll be talking about that over the course of the next hour. Temperatures across the region, 63 degrees in Sarasota, Venice, Inglewood, Bradenton coming in at 62, 62 at Lakewood Ranch. We'll have a temperature today that'll top out warm as it did yesterday, coming in near the 80-degree mark by 3 p.m. And your school bus forecast calls for nice weather out there. Just watch for that little bit of misty fog, mostly sunny skies. 66 for pickup time, almost 80 by the time the kids are dropped off this afternoon. Complete forecast details coming up in just a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Checking the roads first off in Manatee County. So far, so good. It is early after all. Let's check farther south now into the northern half of Sarasota County. Just some yellow blocks there at Fruitville. I said blots or blocks?
Blocks?
What did I say?
It's Wednesday.
Let's say blips.
Okay, blips.
And the final one to the south, 681 southbound. You'll see some issues there on 41 as you come off 75.
That's right.
And South County, all clear right now. It is 6:02, and we have a live picture to show you some more traffic right now. There goes 2 cars. That's a live picture of US 41 as cars head toward the North Trail. There are 2 roundabouts going in on 41 at 10th and 14th, hence the construction barrels there where they're building bigger medians. In the meantime, that's the scene right now live on US 41 in Sarasota.
All right, our top story this morning, it has been all the buzz here in Sarasota. After nearly 4 years of talking about it, plans to finally move forward and develop more than 50 prime acres on the Bayfront.
We've got Marla Spence live from Bayfront Park in Sarasota with an update on some meetings going on yesterday, today, and tomorrow around Van Wezel. Marla?
People in this community as they continue to discuss plans to move forward with the development of more than 50 acres, like you said, of this area known as the Bay. Now it's a development that's been in the works for some time, and now plans to develop the 53 acres of property near the Van Wezel will soon become a reality. Discussions between the developer and people who live in this community met last night to put in their thoughts on what the property should become.
Our goal from the beginning has been to involve the community in as much as of the process as we can. We want everyone to feel heard and everyone to feel ownership at the end of our process.
For those who could not make that meeting last night, there will be another one at the Van Wezel this morning for those who are looking to put in their input of what should become of the 53 acres. Some are saying a waterfront dining should be over here as well as retail shops. And the developer for this new development, they are taking all suggestions as possible from the community here in Sarasota. Reporting live for ABC 7, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, some good stuff. Thank you, Marla. Now for the latest information on any traffic accidents, any road conditions, or some breaking news, plus the latest on all the things that are happening in our community and your first alert forecast, just head over to our app. You can find it in the App Store under WWSB or My Suncoast.
An update this morning on dozens of fires set in Sarasota and Charlotte counties over the past 3 weeks. The Florida Forestry Service is now investigating 54 fires. 48 of those fires are believed to be arson. While most of the fires have been quickly extinguished, some nearby homeowners are worried that one of these fires may spread out of control.
We neighbors have to be a little more watchful for those people. I mean, this is kind of a separate area and people may take advantage of this.
If you can help catch an arsonist, there's now a $5,000 reward.
And new developments involving medical marijuana dispensaries in the city of Sarasota. Now, city commissioners have unanimously agreed to allow the dispensaries within city limits. Their decision comes just 7 months after commissioners passed a temporary ban on those dispensaries. Governor Rick Scott signed a bill that said local governments had to either allow the same zoning laws for dispensaries as traditional pharmacies or ban them altogether. Now, that temporary ban was enacted in order to create a plan that would be accepted citywide. So now 20 pharmacies that already exist in the city of Sarasota will be able to dispense medical marijuana.
Well, today, more negotiations on Capitol Hill to avoid another government shutdown in less than a month. President Trump says he's okay with it if his immigration demands are not met. ABC's Kenneth Moten shows us how close they are to striking a deal.
This morning, President Trump is pushing for a government shutdown.
Let's have a shutdown. We'll do a shutdown.
The deadline to keep the government open just 1 day away. Trump during a White House meeting on MS-13 gang violence demanding a tougher deal on immigration or else.
I'd love to see a shutdown if we don't get this stuff taken care of.
But this incredible moment, cameras rolling, Republican Congresswoman Barbara Comstock confronted the president.
We don't need a government shutdown on this. We really do. I think both sides have learned that a government shutdown was bad. It wasn't good for them.
But Barbara, we are not getting support from the Democrats. I mean, you can say what you want. We're not getting support from the Democrats on this legislation.
In less than a month, Dreamers are at risk of deportation. Nearly 700,000 undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally as children signed up for protections under President Obama. Trump wants to offer a path to citizenship for 1.8 million. His chief of staff under fire for saying potential Dreamers were, quote, too lazy to sign up.
I got to say that some of them just should have probably gotten off the couch and signed up.
Immigration at the center of the last shutdown drama.
The motion is adopted without
but not this time. The House approved a short-term funding measure last night, and Senate leaders on both sides say they're close to a sweeping 2-year budget deal. And while Congress is close to avoiding a government shutdown, it appears lawmakers are nowhere near a deal on immigration and the Dreamers. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
Vice President Mike Pence says the United States is preparing to announce the toughest economic sanctions against North Korea. This just days ahead of the Winter Olympics. Now, Pence made the announcement in Japan today following meetings with their prime minister. Pence says the U.S. will continue to isolate North Korea until it abandons its nuclear and ballistic missile programs once and for all. Pence is set to lead the U.S. delegation to the opening ceremonies of the Winter Olympics that kick off on Friday. Those sanctions are expected to be implemented before the games end.
So 280 North Koreans, including a cheer squad, are now in the way to South Korea for the Olympics. There goes the caravan right there. This is one of the largest peacetime crossings on the Korean peninsula ever. The North Korean delegation includes 26 Taekwondo performers and 21 journalists.
Now, if you're looking for your happily ever after, you may want to stay right here in Florida. Wallet Hub ranks the Sunshine State as the second best overall state for singles, just in time for Valentine's Day. Florida is ranked third for dating opportunities, romance, and fun, and gained a #1 spot for restaurants per capita. I second that vote.
Here is Stephanie's address.
All right, here's my email address.
In case you want to get her some chocolate that she'll share with her co-anchor.
Yes, I shall.
Yeah, we update daily content in all seriousness each day to our respective websites, our respective Facebook pages there. So feel free to check them out and like the page while you're there. I also have Instagram as well, behind the scenes of Good Morning Suncoast. Still ahead, the latest first alert traffic, and are you prepared for a nuclear attack?
That's right. We have a list of key tips to keep your family safe. That is when we come back.
We're at 6:09 right now. Here is a peek outside our window at some foggy conditions blowing toward the water here in Sarasota. We'll have John Scalzi's complete forecast and more news straight ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
I just had a very educational ride with Nina.
Did you learn anything?
Where do I begin? So all this stuff goes into a safety check.
Yep.
It's a long list.
It's important stuff.
Test the smoke detector.
Yep.
Check the breaker box.
Yep.
Meter the GFCIs.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Well, I do that.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nina, you make it look easy.
Thanks, but don't do it yourself.
Who's your guy?
Hi, I'm Joan London with A Place for Mom. Over the years, we've helped thousands of families find senior care, and today's senior living communities have never been better, with amazing amenities like movie theaters, exercise rooms and swimming pools, public cafes, bars and bistros, even pet care services. And nobody understands your options like the advisors at A Place for Mom. These are local expert advisors that will partner with you to find the perfect place and determine the right level of care, whether that's just a helping hand or full-time memory care. Best of all, it's a free service. Call today. A Place for Mom. You know your family, we know senior living. Together, we'll make the right choice.
Call A Place for Mom right now to get our free ebook on financing senior care, as well as a free referral for senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-290-0352. That's 1-800-290-0352.
Everyone likes the 2018 Honda Civic. For $169 a month, you made Civic a best-selling compact car in America. You'll like Civic's 5-star safety ratings and that KBB.com named Civic a best buy and the most awarded car. Get the 2018 Civic at a payment you'll love. $169 a month today at your local Honda dealer.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So it's a mild morning out there with a 63-degree air temperature and a dew point at 63 as well. 100% relative humidity. And although we have clear skies, we do have some patchy fog out there. That patchy fog limiting visibility to about a half a mile. You know, it's going to be, I think, a thicker fog tomorrow morning, and we'll discuss the reason for that in just a second. 65 degrees by about 7 o'clock this morning in just an hour or so. We'll look for a temperature of 75 by noon, and then as we head into the 3 p.m. hour, temperature will be about what it was yesterday, about 79 degrees. We'll have a little bit of cloud cover that we'll be battling with throughout the day today. In fact, for the next couple of days, we'll kind of be beating back the cloud cover with sunshine poking through. So kind of a mix of sun and clouds with enough sunshine to keep our temperatures very warm right straight through the period. 68 degrees by 7 p.m. tonight, and we'll start to see some fog forming along our Gulf waters. We've got fog out there in the Gulf right now in places. We also have some rain showers to the north of us going hour by hour through the day in the future cast, taking it till noon. You can see, you know, a mix of sun and clouds with maybe some lingering patchy sea fog out in the Gulf waters offshore. And then as we head into the evening hours, we'll begin to watch the winds shift around out of the southwest. That'll take some of that distant sea fog and bring it closer to shore. Then I think by tomorrow morning, we might have a little bit more widespread fog around. Kind of difficult to predict fog this far out, but we'll give it a shot, and I'll go with perhaps a dense fog problem in some locations along the Gulf waters tomorrow morning. We'll see how it plays out. Also, a frontal boundary sinking southward will bring a few scattered showers into the picture tomorrow as well, putting in about a 20% rain chance. That front kind of falling apart as it moves southward through the region, becoming somewhat diffuse, but keeping lingering clouds in the picture for a day or so until high pressure builds in behind it. And on Friday, we start to clear things out a bit. It's nasty weather in parts of the country today. In parts of the Ohio Valley, it's freezing rain, and there could be accumulations there. And then north of that into central Ohio and up into the mountains of Pennsylvania, you've got some snow showers in progress, leading to perhaps as much as half a foot of snow in places. That's all associated with a low pressure area that'll lift off to the north, dragging this cold front through our state. As I mentioned, tomorrow, winds will be out of the southwest in advance of that front, taking sea fog and pushing it closer to us. But the energy continues to lift off to the north and to the east, so the front is going to be a weak one that really won't lower our temperatures. We stay warm with afternoon highs near 80 right straight through the next 7 days. Only isolated showers possible for the next couple of days anyway. And then perhaps some thick fog around tomorrow morning. Look at these snowfall accumulations in the northeast. We have there in those darker blues as much as a foot of snow, and certainly we can exceed that in isolated pockets in the northeast. So if you're traveling over the next 24 hours, the northeastern corridor might be a slow go. Forecast calls for a southeast wind switching to the southwest at about 5 knots this evening, taking that sea fog and bringing it a little closer to shore. 79 today, 79 tomorrow, with a slight chance of a shower. That clears out on Friday, and Saturday looks good as well with highs in the 80s. Someday a front approaches late in the day, stalls out over us on Monday with a 50% rain chance. And we'll have kind of unsettled weather throughout the day on Monday, but temperatures really don't decrease all that much. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. It is 6:17. Let's take a look at your first alert traffic out there this morning. Not too much to see. You've got your usual slowdowns, a little bit of slowdown on 301 as well as State Road 64, almost to the interchange of 75, and the bridges are starting to slow down a little bit. Then now we're heading into North Sarasota. You've got some congestion that is going north and southbound on 41, as well as Bee Ridge Road and a little bit on Fruitville Road as well. If you're heading into South Sarasota, that part of the area is still looking pretty good out there this morning. Not too much congestion or any blips, as Ray likes to say.
Well, happening right now, a rescue mission is underway in Taiwan after a deadly earthquake overnight. The earthquake struck off the east coast of Taiwan. It registered 6.4. The quake and aftershocks left a hotel leaning at a frightening angle. You see it right there. Police say at least 6 people were killed, hundreds injured, 88 are still missing. There's that hotel again. Wow. Rescue workers are now searching under the debris. Happened at 10:40 a.m. in Taiwan, their time.
All right. Well, it was a scary scenario that just played out in Hawaii a few weeks ago. If you received an emergency alert warning of an incoming nuclear ballistic missile attack and had just 15 minutes to seek shelter, would you know what to do?
ABC's Maggie Ruley has some tips.
We all know the atomic bomb is very dangerous.
The days of duck and cover drills are long gone, but in 2018, the threat of nuclear war remains as real as ever.
This is the closest the clock has been to nuclear war since the 1950s.
If you are indoors, stay indoors.
We saw it last month in Hawaii, a false alert sending thousands running into the streets, still haunted by these images. 1945. 2 nuclear blasts and the radiation that followed killed an estimated 130 to 230,000 people in Japan. Today's weapons are up to 3,000 times more powerful. And some experts say the best way to survive a nuclear attack is to make sure one never happens again. But others think we must prepare for the worst.
We could be more aware of what we can do to protect ourselves.
Elliot Calhoun runs emergency preparedness for New York City, specializing in nuclear threats.
Can you survive a nuclear attack?
Yes, and that's the really message that we want to drive home here. It would be certainly devastating, but it will be a survivable event for a majority of people who are impacted.
In a nuclear attack, you'd only have about 15 minutes to prepare. First, have an emergency bag ready to go, a battery or crank-powered radio, any medications you need, enough food and water for 72 hours, a first aid kit, extra batteries, flashlight, and anything else you may need for your environment like a blanket.
The alarm sounded. Let's grab our go bag, get to the basement,
Seek shelter immediately. Do not go outside and do not try to evacuate.
The best thing you can do to increase your chances of survival is to take shelter in the basement or center of a large building.
Prepare to shelter in place for at least 24 to 72 hours. If you were outside or have dust on your body, remove all outer clothing and gently wipe off any exposed skin with a wet cloth. Experts say this can remove 90% of radioactive material. Finally, listen to the announcements and do not evacuate until you are told to do so. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Handy tips.
So many tips in that one package. We're all watching this like, this
Yeah.
is a reality in our world.
This is where we live these days.
Yes.
It's being described as the biggest rocket launch in the world.
That's right. We're going to tell you all about the special cargo on board the latest SpaceX rocket. It's coming up right after this.
But first, a peek outside our window at a slightly foggy sky above Sarasota right now. Should be a beautiful day though. Sunny and a high of 79 degrees. We'll have John's forecast coming up on Good Morning Suncoast.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
Alex Karras Lincoln's 40th anniversary sale. Please join us in welcoming the two newest additions to the Lincoln lineup, our flagship luxury sedan, the 2018 Lincoln Continental, and the totally redesigned 2018 Lincoln Navigator, featuring 450 horsepower, 10-speed transmission, and many best-in-class features. Alex Karras Lincoln, where our mission statement is consistent commitment, every client, every time. Located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Rugs as Art. You know the name, you know the building, but do you know what's inside? Yes, Rugs as Art is Florida's #1 area rug superstore, but there is so much more. Amazing furniture, accessories, and art. All this and more. Come see for yourself. You'll love our personal touch and be pleasantly surprised by our affordable prices. Rugs as Art and more. There is so much more to explore.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Well, you enjoy the Suncoast. Look what's going on in Chicago. This is live video on the road in Chicago, no less. That's high technology. 17 degrees and snow in the windy city. It feels like 5 degrees right now. Did I mention today we'll see a high of 79 here in Florida?
It's a good day to screenshot our temperature and send it to your friends up north, which I do sometimes to my girlfriends in Michigan. They love that.
Oh, they love that.
They
they feel closer to you then.
Yes, yes, that's what it is. Something like that. All right, well, coming up this morning, SpaceX is celebrating a successful launch of the world's most powerful rocket.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Look at that, the Falcon Heavy, named after the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars, blasted off from Cape Canaveral yesterday on its first test flight with millions around the world streaming the launch online. It's been described as the most powerful rocket since NASA's Saturn V, capable of producing 5 million pounds of thrust, equivalent to the power of 20 jetliners at one time. In a never-before-seen feat, SpaceX even managed to guide at least 2 of the Falcon Heavy's first-stage rocket boosters back to Earth to land upright here on our planet.
What do you know?
I could watch that video all day. It was so incredible.
You know, we heard 10 years ago that the government was winding down NASA. Private sector has filled the void.
Yes, and it seems a lot faster than I think a lot of people realize. Like, this is ready to go. I mean, there's a lot of good technology out there.
Right.
And so much history that was made in yesterday's launch. Now, if all goes as planned, the Falcon Heavy will be orbiting for 1 billion years.
I guess there's nobody on board.
No, not coming back from that trip.
ABC's David Curley shows us the special cargo on board.
In this morning's GMA's First Look.
3, 2,
now the biggest rocket in the world, SpaceX's Falcon Heavy, 3 rockets strapped together, launched a new era of American space travel.
Successful separation!
But this was different. The boosters separated and then flew back to Earth, landing together. Reusable.
And the Falcons have landed.
SpaceX CEO Elon Musk, who also runs the electric car company Tesla, decided the payload, the weight at the head of the rocket under the skin, would be his electric car, a red roadster. And we'll have the reaction of Elon Musk coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm David Curley, ABC News, Kennedy Space Center.
Having moderate to severe plaque psoriasis is not always easy. It's a long-distance run, and you have the determination to keep going. Humira has a proven track record of being prescribed for over 10 years. Humira works inside the body to target and help block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to symptoms. In clinical trials, most adults taking Humira were clear or almost clear, and many saw 75% and even 90% clearance in just 4 months.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Join over 250,000 people who have chosen Humira. Ask about the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists. Humira and go.
Hello everyone, I'm Chef Bob Vitello. This is Chef Alan Bristow from Publix Aprons Cooking School. You got some cool stuff going on.
Got some nice stuff. We're doing a little salmon dish today. It's really, really nice. So the first part of it is get some beautiful fresh salmon from Publix. They do a great job with their salmon. Always have some beautiful fresh salmon. Actually, we carry a lot of wild salmon too, which is really, really nice when it's in season.
They'll take the skin off for you too, right?
They'll take the skin right off for you, no problem. So what we got is a little lemon tarragon vinaigrette dressing here. We're just going to pour that right over the top of this fish. And what you want to do is let that fish sit probably 20, 30 minutes. You can let it even sit up to a couple hours. You wouldn't have any issue with that at all. And so we got some beautiful red potatoes here. Just a nice little small red potato.
Beautiful.
And we're just going to cut that just like this. Okay. And we've got it right in here. And we're going to add to that, we're going to add a little bit of fresh thyme to that. Always fresh thyme. It's a beautiful thing. We're going to put in some salt, and we're going to put a little bit of pepper in there as well.
This looks very healthy, Mr. Bristow.
It is an excellent, healthy meal. So then we're just going to put a little of that same dressing right in there.
How about some butter? Can I get some butter?
There's no butter in this, Bob. Not yet. Right at the end.
Oh,
so then once we get those all set up, we're going to put those in a pan just like that. We're going to add our tomatoes. We're going to marinate the tomatoes in the same dressing. We're going to put those in there.
You just roast this?
We're just going to roast those off. So when this is roasted, probably just before it's finished, so just a couple of minutes before it's finished, you're going to take your salmon. You're going to take that and you're going to add that into the same pan that you're cooking your potatoes and your tomatoes in as well. Now, once you get the tomatoes all cooked and the potatoes are all cooked, pull aside a little bit of those tomatoes.
Right.
While they're nice and hot, get a little warm butter, mix them together, and make a little sauce.
Looks great, buddy. Starting tomorrow, be sure to stop by your Publix Apron Simple Meals kiosk, pick up all the recipe cards and all the ingredients after sampling this delicious dish.
Thank you, Bob.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile. And in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 1-800-565-7740. That's 1-800-565-7740.
It's Greek time! February 8th through the 11th at the 34th Annual St. Barbara Greek Festival. Bring your family and friends. Treat yourself to authentic Greek home cooking and pastries. Plus, dance to traditional Greek music. Visit a marketplace filled with crafts and jewelry from local artisans. Children will enjoy the kids' zone and everyone will have a good time. Bring your appetites and spend a day in Greece without leaving the area. The Greek Festival at St. Barbara Greek Orthodox Church just north of University Parkway, where Lockwood and Talevast roads meet. Yasu!
So Matt told me to meet him at 7 a.m. sharp right here. It is now 7:01 a.m. You think Matt will leave without me? Hey, is Matt here?
Long gone.
Long gone.
Just missed him.
Just missed him.
All done.
Mr. Sparky guarantees they're on time and the repair is free, so chop chop.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Matt, you started without me.
I finished without you, too.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night, or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, Governor Scott is headed to Sarasota today to help promote small business.
Plans are underway to move forward with the development of more than 50 acres of the bay here in Sarasota. I'm live at Bayfront Park with what developers are doing and how the community can get involved with the process.
And a best-selling author will be speaking today on the Suncoast. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
Good morning to you on this Wednesday morning, February the 7th. Welcome back to this half hour. I'm Stephanie Webb.
I'm Ray Collins. Should be another beautiful day, high in the upper 70s. Details now from the man himself. Here's John Scalzi.
Yeah, it looks pretty. Excuse me.
He's so excited.
Caught me off guard there. I'm all choked up. We got some nice weather shaping up for us. A little bit of patchy fog out there this morning. We'll get through that and things will be good. Al in Palmetto reports a little bit of fog at his location. He's got 62 degrees there. Becky in Old Myakka's got 57, a little bit cool. cooler. Generally speaking, visibilities are 6 miles or better across the region. So that's not too bad. Shouldn't be a big interference in your commute this morning. 63 Venice, Sarasota, 61 Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch. Tomorrow morning, I think we have a little bit better chance at seeing some denser fog around. We'll talk about that in a few. 65 by 7. We'll look at 75 by noon, and then by 3 p.m. about 79 or so. A nice warm day. Commute looks great this morning right through the 9 o'clock hour, and then the drive home this evening looks fine. Plenty of sunshine around. No rain, no wind. Temps are good, but might be a little patchy fog. Complete forecast details in a second.
All right, John, checking first alert traffic right now. Pretty clear in Manatee County. A little blip there at 301 northbound as you cross over State Road 70, otherwise clear. Checking farther south now in the northern half of Sarasota County. At the very top of your screen, getting out of Lakewood Ranch. A little delay there as you approach the diverging diamond. Also 301 southbound as you head through Newtown, and Clark Road eastbound as you head toward the interstate. Farther south now, mostly clear. That earlier issue on 681 has since cleared up. Little blip there at 41 southbound as you approach Nokomis. And speaking of traffic, here's a live picture of US 41 as the cars head. Watch out, there's a man walking toward the camera.
Oh, hi, sir.
Hello, good to see you. What are you doing? There's the road's north trail. There's going to be 2 different roundabouts installed there at 41 and 10th and 41 and 14th, and the medians are being beefed up in the meantime. It's 6:35 right now. Good morning, Suncoast.
All right, happening right now in the Citrus Park area. This is brand new this morning. Crews are scrambling to try and keep a huge hole from growing. A giant 15 feet wide by 4 foot deep hole opened up early this morning in a woman's front yard, apparently created by a water main break. Now, right now, there are no evacuations set, but water was shut off to about 14 homes in the area. Crews are now assessing the hole and are working to stabilize it to make sure it doesn't get any bigger. In our top story this morning, a big talker in Sarasota right now. Redevelopment of the Bay in Sarasota is a lot closer than you think.
Our Marla Spence is live from Bayfront Park right now in Sarasota with a preview of today's meeting. Marla?
Ray and Stephanie, it's been a lengthy process, but the plans to develop this area known as the Bay is now moving forward after nearly 4 years of discussions. Talks between developers and people who live in this area is the first step to planning what will become of the 53 acres of the property near the Van Wezel. Open sessions all week have been happening to allow residents to look at some of the plans for the property in an interactive way and give their own thoughts of the future of the city-owned land. People attended a meeting just last night with the developer and are excited to see what this property will become.
I'd like to see it in keeping with Sarasota's artistic community, which I think is unique to Sarasota and a huge benefit to the city and makes it unique amongst other cities in Florida.
That was just the input of one person. Others believe that retail shops as well as waterfront dining should be placed on the 53 acres. If you are interested in giving your input into those community meetings, there will be one at the Van Wezel starting this morning. Reporting live in Sarasota, Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Marla. For more on this story and other breaking news and the latest forecast, go to the App Store and punch up our new app under WWSB or My Suncoast.
Happening today, Governor Rick Scott will be in Sarasota highlighting job growth. The governor will be making a stop at a small business called Rapid Composites around 5 o'clock this afternoon. Now, the company designs, engineers, and manufactures software equipment for law enforcement and the U.S. military. According to the governor's office, since December of 2010, Florida businesses have created nearly 1.5 million jobs. And speaking of job growth, 9 projects here in the state will receive $35 million in awards. The money comes from the Florida Job Growth Grant Fund. Now, cities and counties will be able to put some of that money towards construction, water supply, and fire protection, which is all expected to lead to more economic development. The governor's recommended budget for next fiscal year includes $85 million just for that fund.
Later on today, Sarasota Police will swear in 4 new officers. The ceremony starts today at 2 p.m. at police headquarters, which is next to Payne Park. The event is open to the public. Bradenton Police getting more money from the state to help keep pedestrians and bicyclists safe. The department received grant money for a high visibility enforcement program. The grant will allow the department to post officers at 4 busy intersections. The increased patrols will hopefully decrease the number of pedestrian, bicycle, and car accidents.
Well, it will now be easier for bicyclists riding along the Legacy Trail to navigate toward downtown Venice. The city and a team of volunteers have installed Venice Connect wayfinding medallions. Bicyclists can follow the areas for a safer route. The city says the Venice Avenue Bridge does not have a bike lane or a widened sidewalk, so it can be a little tricky for cyclists riding over that bridge. Now, the wayfinding route is used as a tool to guide riders to shopping, parks, and other tourist attractions.
You will notice some changes next time you arrive in one of the downtown parking garages in Sarasota. New ticket dispenser machines will greet you as you pull in the State Street or Palm Avenue garages. The first 3 hours of parking are free, but drivers will pay a fee after those 3 hours. Casino mogul Steve Wynn is now stepping down as CEO of his namesake resort company. Wynn has been under scrutiny since the Wall Street Journal published a story about allegations of sexual harassment involving Wynn over the years. Now, he has denied the allegations. He has also stepped down as the Republican National Committee's finance chair amid this scandal.
Well, now may be a good time to stock up on some toys. Toys R Us has won bankruptcy court approval to begin going out of business at 170 of its stores across the country, and they're going to be having going out of business sales. Toys R Us also won approval to close about 182 of those stores, but has since taken at least a dozen of those locations off the closing list. Now, we don't have details yet on when the going out of business sales will start, but we will keep you up to date on that.
Today on the Suncoast, New York Times best-selling author James Patterson will be in Sarasota. He'll speak at the 6th Annual Library Foundation's Authors Luncheon at the Municipal Auditorium. This is some file video for you. It's the Foundation's only fundraiser of the year. And I promised former Commissioner Shannon Staub we'd include that story today. So, Commissioner Staub, there is the story about James Patterson.
Love that man. I've always been a big fan of his Alex Cross books.
Really?
Yes.
Haven't
love
read that
those. Yet. Yes. Kiss the Girls is my favorite one. They were made into movies with Morgan Freeman and Ashley Judd over the years.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman played that role for a long time.
Did not know that was a book originally.
Yes. He's a great author. Good stuff. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, the latest in your first alert traffic, and we'll have more information about medical supplies and how yours could soon be getting delivered by drones. We're going to have that story for you coming up after.
It is 6:41 right now, and there's a live picture outside the window here looking at the downtown Sarasota skyline. Some fog out there, but later in the day, mostly sunny conditions and a high of 79 degrees. Not bad, huh? John Scalzi's complete first alert forecast is next on Good Morning Suncoast.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured or arrested, I know this feels like the end of the road, but really it's the beginning of a long, potentially stressful process. So give us a call. Let us give you some peace of mind.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
My California Closets designer is a rock star. She was able to design the most beautiful space for me. When I turn the lights on, it's breathtaking. La! It's just a little slice of organized heaven. The California Closet team was so professional, so reliable. It was seriously a dream come true. My name is Jill, and this is my California Closet story.
Glasses and contacts. You need them to see, but they put such a strain on your life. Due to new advances in vision improvement technology, LASIK is now affordable for almost everyone, with procedures starting as low as $299 per eye, and over 1 million procedures performed by our trusted independent surgeons. LASIK surgery is a sensible, safe, and affordable solution to improve your vision. So call now to talk to a LASIK Vision Institute counselor and schedule your free evaluation.
1-800-813-0109.
If you're between 50 and 85 years old, call the number on your screen right now for free information on how to save your family thousands of dollars. We're Family Love Plans, and we've been helping families just like yours for over 30 years. The average funeral today can cost up to $10,000 or more, but the most you'll get from government benefits is just $255. How will your family pay the difference? At Family Love Plans, we can help you and your family. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam and your plan can't be canceled. Better still, your rate will never go up and your benefits will never go down. Get your free information about our senior plans. Just answer a few simple questions and receive approval right over the phone.
Call 1-800-707-3608. That's 1-800-707-3608.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Viewer photos sent in to us. This one is actually not from Alice. This is from Matt Smith, who is actually director of mosquito control in Sarasota. Was over at the space launch yesterday and took these amazing shots from the Kennedy Space Center of the Falcon Heavy lifting off in a perfect blast off. And then, well, I can't guarantee you that Elon Musk is a viewer of the morning show, but this is, of course, from space. It's called Spaceman. And I don't know, I guess it could be a space woman too, right? I get the reference to the movie, but it could be a woman in that space suit there driving the Tesla in orbit somewhere out in space. Pretty darn cool. We're looking at 63 degrees, the air temperature, dew point the same, 100% relative humidity, some patchy fog out there, but not terribly bad right now. East wind coming in at about 8 southeast. 65 degrees by 7. We'll look for 75 degrees by noon, 80 by 3, and then 68 degrees by 7 o'clock tonight, when we could see some patchy fog developing once again because our winds will have started coming out of the southwest. That'll take some sea fog that might develop out there in Gulf waters and bring it closer to shore. Hour by hour through the day, to around the lunchtime hour, things look pretty good. Mix of sun and fair weather clouds. No rain in the forecast for this afternoon along the coastline. Inland, yeah, you may catch an isolated shower well inland. Highlands County, innermost sections of Hardee and DeSoto County. You might get a brief shower, but that's about it. Caused mostly by, southwest wind beginning to develop and daytime heating. We're up near the 80-degree mark today. As we head into the evening hours, the sea fog continues to form and the winds start coming in out of the southwest, drawing some of that moisture on shore. We also may get some cloud cover building during the overnight, so that by tomorrow morning we'll see a line of showers just to our north. That's part of a frontal boundary that'll be sinking south throughout the day and could lead to a scattered shower or two. We'll put in about a 20% chance of rain, though the frontal boundary that's going to be causing that kind of unsettled weather over the state tomorrow is certainly producing some heavier weather right now in parts of the deep south. We get nothing like that. Could be severe weather today around the Atlanta airport if you're traveling. Watch out for that. Also, areas around Wheeling, Pittsburgh, could see some heavier snow showers, or at least some freezing rain transitioning to snow showers as we progress through the morning hours, and then snow north of that. A long line of storminess caused by a low-pressure area lifting north, dragging a cold front closer to us. As that low moves off to the north and to the east, it takes the energy with it, so the front really doesn't have a lot of oomph as it moves through here. We only get an isolated shower tomorrow, but we will watch for that potential of thick fog. Watch the long-range forecast, put it into motion, maybe an isolated shower in inland areas later tomorrow, and then we'll start to see everything kind of mix away on Friday with some drier air moving in. Forecast looks like this for today. Southeast wind switching to the southwest at about 5 knots. You'll have 2-foot seas and a light chop. Nice day out there on the waters, I think. Watch for that shifting wind later in the day. 79 degrees, the air temperature today. Tomorrow, 81. Chance at a shower, perhaps. And then over the next several days, we'll see a little bit more sunshine. Sunday, another front moves through with about a 50% chance of rain showers as that front kind of stalls over us and slowly washes out. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, John. It is 6:48. Let's take a look outside and check on the first alert traffic. Definitely a lot more red on that map this time in the morning. Everybody's starting to get out and about and start those morning commutes. A lot of slowdowns and a lot of congestion, as you can see right there on 301. Definitely coming over the bridges into Sarasota. And another one on State Road 70, almost to that 75 interchange. If you're in North Sarasota, we've got a lot of congestion there too, especially on 41, as well as Clark Road down there, and a little bit on Bee Ridge and Fruitville as well. And then in South County, not too bad. Got a little bit of a slowdown there on 41 as you head into Venice, but other than that, that part of the map is looking pretty good so far.
All right, 6:49. Here is a live shot of Chicago right now. Look at that. On the road in Chicago where it's 22 degrees, feels like 5.
Yes, thanks to that Windy of the Windy City.
Yes, hence they're earning their name today. I love that video, though. It's so cool to show live pictures like that as the car goes down the road. Glad we're here where there's a high of 79 degrees back here on the Suncoast and plenty of sunshine, so be glad you're here. We are certainly seeing drones buzzing everywhere these days, and now they may help save lives. North Carolina is working with medical professionals to help transport blood. There's just one slight problem, though. Technically, if you can't see the drone, you're breaking the law, so the DOT there is proposing a plan to the FAA to make an exception for these medical-specific drones.
Next, people, stop eating the Tide Pods. New York lawmakers are getting down and dirty with the Tide Pod Challenge that has gone viral. A group of them are introducing a bill to make those Tide Pods less appealing. During January, there were at least 86 reported cases of teens intentionally eating the detergent pods. The Democratic legislators are introducing bills that would require detergent pod makers to make the pods be all one color, not so colorful, to also be individually wrapped and then include warning labels as well.
I don't get the appeal there.
Well, it was a challenge, like a lot of like the teens were going online and putting it in their mouth.
And it causes bubbles?
And it causes ingestion and poisoning and all those kind of things, but it's just like, there was the cinnamon challenge back in the day. I know my teens have gone through that one as well, like all these strange things, but the Tide Pod one is very dangerous.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Crazy one.
Still ahead, we'll have the top local news headlines and a look at the casting for the Royal Romance Lifetime feature.
That's right. Ray has been asking me every day who's going to be playing Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. We're going to tell him who has those title roles right after this.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
I just had a very educational ride with Nina.
Did you learn anything?
Where do I begin? So all this stuff goes into a safety check.
Yep.
It's a long list.
It's important stuff.
Test the smoke detector.
Yep.
Check the breaker box.
Yep.
Meter the GFCIs.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Well, I knew that.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nina, you make it look easy.
Thanks, but don't do it yourself.
Who's your guy?
Get breaking news, plus first alert, weather, and traffic focused on where you live. Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5.
Well, here are some headlines now as you wake up on this Wednesday morning. Governor Scott will be in Sarasota today, highlighting job growth. He'll stop at a small business called Rapid Composites on 301 near Whitfield about 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Plus, we have liftoff. While millions watched all over the world, SpaceX successfully launched the most powerful rocket in the world. It's on its way to Mars this morning with the first ever car that was sent into space.
And Florida is a great place to find your happily ever after. Florida ranked the second best to find a partner just in time for Valentine's Day.
Cool. We like that.
Yeah.
68 degrees by 9 o'clock this morning, 75 degrees by noon as we head into the evening hours, 68. And the beach ball forecast, I don't know, if I had to review this again, I'd take away a beach ball for cloud cover.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. But we'll leave it at 4.
Down to 3.
Sounds good. Well, finally this morning, these guys right here, John and Raven, ask me every day. The Lifetime Network has finally cast the title roles for the feature Harry and Meghan, A Royal Romance.
She looks like her.
She does look a lot, doesn't she?
Yeah.
You've seen her on Netflix. She was in Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. It's 2 of the Marvel properties there. 2 relatively unknown actors are playing those lead roles. She is Paritza Fence-Henley, and he is Murray Fraser. Production is expected to begin this week, you guys. It's going to air in the spring, right before that big royal wedding that is coming up in May.
That's some fast work then.
Right? Very
Done
fast.
Done by May
turnaround.
19th.
Think that wedding will get any press?
Probably not. I probably won't watch. I'm going to watch.
Look at that pastel sunrise right now on the Suncoast. Thanks for watching Good Morning Suncoast.
That's right. Good Morning America is straight ahead.